everyone. Good morning. It's the 11th of December, 23. Man, time flies when you're having fun. I've rolled a contract starting last night, so I'm on the H, as you can see up here, from the Z. Be extremely light volume. I will likely not trade at all. Just watch. Only 310 contracts all night. But in any case, as normal with this stream, I'll set up the multi-brackets, which enables the risk neutral, 12-point stops, and the first contract is 12 points, or 12 ticks, I'm sorry, which then makes the second contract ride for free. That's the risk neutral concept. And we'll enable that over here and confirm that it is and that the OCOs are off, which they are. Okay. And we're going to open in about 2 minutes. Hopefully all things stream are working okay. Basically, it was a tight night. We're opening lower in range. Close was up here. We're opening down here. So we're in yesterday's or Friday's RTH range, and we're opening lower. That's how the stat works. And that stat is, I've input them manually here against the levels, but these are the stats based on that opening type. There's the overnight mid. This has got to go up here because it's changing around. Overnight low, value area high, overnight high, and things are above. There's a whole bunch of stats that can be input there. But these are the ones that I feel do pretty much the most good. So chilly this morning, about 1 degree centigrade when I got up. This is the full session volume profile. It will remain as was, and the lighter or darker color, or dimmer colored POC is full session. This is the RTH or current session, and this is what's on the charts. You see the brighter POC.
Slow computer.
Well, that's one I had never heard before. I gotta figure that out. That's kind of interesting. Mark the migrating POCs so that I can easily look back on where they were through the day. I mean, obviously in the beginning, it's pretty simple. I'm going to have to shut off those audio things, or at least, it was loud as hell to me. I don't know about the stream, but desktop audio is quite low. I'm surprised at that volume.
Slow computer.
That's coming from Bookmap up here, I'm guessing. So there's a lot of volume being traded off. I've never heard that. To be honest with you. It's kind of interesting that Bookmap is having this issue, but IRT is not. There's no lag on IRT. So that's kind of a new one. How the hell I don't even know where audio notifications are in this damn thing, to be honest with you. I didn't know any were on, and I certainly didn't intend to have any of them on, or certainly not that loud. Alerts, probably, I guess. Configure alerts. It says no alert history. Absorption, single, no audio, no audio. Okay. Well, I'm trying a new idea, which I set up over the weekend for the stream, just the window, which is book map. It doesn't show then all the desktop stuff. See if that helps a little clearer, a little less confusing, perhaps. And we're sneaking down a little skosh here. Okay. And I'll be right back. Okay. I just realized the Be Right Back screen has still got the old, it's still on the monitor rather than the window. I'll have to change that. Sorry. Note to self. So, yeah. Seems like everything's okay stream-wise. Streaming now on, I worked all weekend testing more higher qualities. I was testing 4K and 1440p, back to 1080p here now on these my normal monitor setup and trading setup. Switch the IRT screens to regular trading hours. Forgot that. That's irritating. So again, opened lower in range. And now we're kind of pushing up towards the what I show as POC from Friday on the corrected numbers for the roll. Assuming I were interested in trading, which I'm not on this extremely light volume in the roll, this would have been a mean reversion trade, but it's not really even remotely qualified because there's the mean. So, what do you got? 1.5 to your first scale. Obviously, if you look back at it, yeah, it's a great long. But, try to be consistent in the thinking and the rationale. That's tough. That is tough. Boom. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And there we go. They're pushing that IB higher, looking for the previous value area high. I hope I'm on the right monitor. There we go. And then we've got even though it's a low probability. Okie dokie. In the not too distant future, the full session VPOC and the RTH VPOC will soon come together. So that's kind of a gauge for me to see how inconsistent the trade has been so far in the morning. And the first trade that I might be interested in would be the IB30. The IB is the IB high and IB low are the high and low of the first 1 hour of RTH trade. IB30 is a stat somebody T-Lab cooked up that says quite a high probability that either the IB high or the IB low will be taken out in the second 30 minutes. Obviously, the IB has not been set, but it will be increased in the case of the high or decreased in case of the low within the second 30 minutes. So we'll see what happens. I'll try to point that out, narrate it as we go here. Here's our Renko and NQ, the higher time frame, or the MC 2675. I wonder if I remembered to. I didn't remember to update that 462675. I didn't remember to update that when I rolled. Huh. The other one's going to be clear down here in the bull rushes someplace. Let's see, where is it? 462675. I'll plop it over here and go look for the old one later. Wow, that's amazing. Template. MCVPOC. Okie dokie. There we go. I'll have to find the old one from before the roll and correct that. Too many things on my mind this morning. Yeah. Just confirming here that some of the evaluation accounts, TopStep, for example, they're still trading the H contract. It's 4607. So, yeah, that's one to be careful about. I better not trade this at all. Here, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I hope that the stream is streaming okay. The audio is fine. Quality is what it is. It's 1080p. The base canvas, that's dictated on the new OBS by the base canvas, which is your monitor max. My 5 monitors currently are 1080p's. I was trying out a 4K over the weekend to see how it worked for my eyes and what advantage there may or may not be for the stream. I'm not really sure what to think at this point, but you know, my object is not to be a streaming wizard or a gear wizard, but rather trade and use the stream as my video journal. And I try to be consistent and have that up every day for my own self. I'm going to see if I can. I probably can't change anything in the middle of a stream, so I'm not going to be able to do that. The be right back screen is the window or the monitor rather than the window. I'll have to change that, but I can't do it now. And it's not a big deal, but just I thought it might be better to have that increased uh, screen size on the actual book map charting rather than, who cares what my clock or my thermometer or what apps I have on the computer are. Certainly no one. I can't unfortunately do that with IRT on the left monitor because it has the windows are all floating outside the container and you can't put them in a container. So I have to leave that on the monitor rather than the window. As far as I know at this point, I may be able to attach all these windows somehow, but it seems like a giant pain in the butt. So I don't think I'm going to worry about it. This left monitor will then be showing the noise down here. So the walking base doesn't look to me like it's showing the whole thing there, but let's see. I don't know. I don't know why that seems to shift. Shifts down. I don't know why that's doing that if it's doing that on the stream or not. When I go from the 27R back, be right back music to the other one, it seems to shift down on my monitor, on my stream monitor. I don't have to look at that later. No clue. And it certainly doesn't matter, but Ooh, big shift up in the VPOC. Big shift up in the VPOC. Not sure if I had it on the right monitor or not when I started this, but there we go. So I've put in the migrating POC. Now, obviously, as the market starts, it's pretty obvious, but you see it already, there's been a shift down off the screen. So you need to roll clear back here to catch that, right? From here's the open. Here's the open down to here and there and there and up. So we'll see what happens. This little teeny shift up. Normally, that would be an indication or a structured trade of the VPOC migration long, but you're at the top of the rotation, so outside edge. This is creating this up here. And you're sitting right on top of VPOC, so it has brought the full session is now on top of or aligned with the regular POC of the RTH. So they will now track out together. See what happens here at the 9 o'clock hour. If that IB30 presents any kind of an interesting opportunity, I will not trade it because I'm just decided I'm not going to trade today. Well, there's the full session drop down and didn't pull the RTH with it. So here's the RTH, and there's about whatever that is, 9 or 10,000 contracts here. And here's the overnight, and there's 11 and change. So that's keeping the two of these separated here for a little bit. You can see the difference in the volume. Pretty much two separate distributions here around mid and VWAP on the regular trading hours. And the full session is shutting off at the top, but it's got a lot more depth through the middle there. And this is the light volume contract. Okay, 4 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's see if they want to monkey around with that IB30. This will be a brief stream. I'm not going to trade today. And as a result, I will make better use of my time than standing here making up things to talk about to myself about a situation that I'm not really interested in participating in. Now, if one had to be predictive, which is a real bad idea, you would expect that the IB low would be the one taken extended in the IB with the IB 30. Just looking at where we are in terms of trade at the moment. But that is absolutely not for sure. And right now, as I've been speaking, we're back at the mid, which is exactly halfway between the high and the low. Remember that this is the regular trading session hours. So we've got 53 to 60. We've got 62, little less than 10-point range since the open. 622,000 contracts traded. There is a structured trade, VWAP or mid to VPOC. And in this case, it does qualify because there's range. The first scale needs to be ahead of the obstacle. And in this case, the obstacle is up here at about 60 quarter, and the V at 57. So there is the 3-point range to get risk neutral ahead of the obstacle. That would have been a structured trade. The problem with it is, from my side, A, I'm not trading, and B, where's the target? It just goes trucking right through there, and there's no pullback, there's no trigger. I meant trigger, not target. There's no pullback, there's no trigger. So, yeah. Back here, there isn't either. And you see the algos and liquidity just chasing this thing up and down. So, there you go. Now that is not really a trigger either, but it's, here's 166 contracts trade out and then one. So there's no range. And in reality, those lines don't make any sense to me. This is where 166 contracts traded out. What about here? There we go. That's how it aggregates together. So here's 109. We haven't gotten back up here, but we're at like 14, 5, 8, 3, 2. Getting back up here to test, we want to see exhaustion. Again, there's no range from here to the first obstacle, which is the POC for a risk neutral trade. And there we are at the top of the hour, and we have not extended that IB higher or lower, but we'll see what happens. I think I'll wind this stream down, check the quality and a few things. Make sure all is well around the home 20 here with the lower temperatures, and make sure I've done the winterization and insulating the pipes up out of the ground and things like that. And make sure all that's okay. Nothing's blown loose or whatever. Yeah. So stream this up until the IB sets at 9:30, and then I'll close down the stream. And here we go back to the mid. Up and down. IB lows down here at 53. Just ahead of a little liquidity. And again, who the hell knows? Is it going to take out the stat on the bottom or the top? We have a long way to go, 30 minutes. A lot of trading can happen in that period of time. Hope this is on the right monitor. Let's check and see. I get to talking and forget what the hell I'm thinking about. So I'll put on the Be Right Back music and take a little break, get some water. Okay. So we didn't get the IB high yet. The IB 30, excuse me. Close, but no cigar. I'm assuming I'm on the right monitor. Close, but no cigar. By a tick here. Chances are likely, I guess. Well, chances are about 50-50. It'll go either way from the way it's been working. Wow. Oh, thank you. Need to help around the house here for a minute. I'm going to mute the mic out and go to be right back. So what are we doing here? Doesn't look to me like we have just barely extended it. So the IB30 stat was taken to the upside so far. Okay. So we've got a few minutes here till the IB stat sets at 9:30. I'll close the stream off there, as I'm not going to trade today, and it's a waste of time for YouTube and streaming, and just to sit and watch the market bounce around and listen to Be Right Back music. We did have the IB30 stat hit a few minutes ago here at about 14. Sorry. I guess it was about 14-ish. 14, 10 seconds, looks like. And we're now up. IB high is now right here under the under the value area high. Can see what I'm looking at here. This was the IB 30 stat. There's 59. There's 9 o'clock. And it's pushed up. So that's the IB 30 stat. It was the IB high was increased or raised, or however you want to say it. Okay. See what's going on with the other ideas here. All right, running around the house like a madman here. So we've extended the IB high. We've tested back to the VWAP, VPOC, I'm sorry. And then we're going to head north some more, it would seem. Over here, that is extension. Test back to the VPOC, which are now pretty close together between full session and RTH, and then it's looking higher some more. I don't think I got the correlated. Switched over to the correlation tracker. There we go. So what we want to do is we don't want H. We want to add, oh yes, we do want H. What am I talking about? And keep it my dark blue color. See what that looks like. Updating the events, there we go. So there's the correlation. I might take that neon beauty down a little bit. I'm hearing something in the background here I better look into. Okay, back to the business at hand here. I'm going to get rid of this, or not get rid of it, but definitely going to change that color down a little bit. It's kind of bright. See how that looks. Yeah, it's a little better. NQ correlation for the new H contract. Don't need to be able to read it, just need to be able to see where it is and where it's headed. Right now it's headed lower. Similar, I mean, what it's doing is just overlaying this upon this. So gives you a chance to see what the NQ is doing simultaneously with the ES on one screen, which is kind of handy. So 6 minutes to the set. Based on the trade, would sort of imagine that it was going to be an IB high, but never know. The minute you start thinking you know which direction it's going, you get pounded salt. Yeah, it's cold but bright. Ooh, there we go. That's a little better. Looks like the ES and the NQ are just lockstep. That sucks. One more reason why I'm not involved in the market today. And I have some other things I'm going to go do, make sure the winterization's okay. And got a contractor coming over, a big foundations here in this area. A lot of no basements because of water table, slab on grade, or sometimes a little bit of a rim beam on grade, and then a little area underneath to get under there. And there'd been foundation work done on this house prior to us moving in, but a bunch of rain happened just before Thanksgiving, and the kitchen floor buckled up. So the contractor's coming over today to make plans to mitigate that and fix it. Joy, oh joy. Nothing like jackhammering the kitchen floor to make a day. Wonder how far down there the old MC was. Should be pretty funny. There we are. That's the new one. 46, 26, 75. Wow. Gotta be down here somewhere. Or it's been covered up. Huh. Wow, that can't be right. Must be covered up. Oh well. I'll find it sooner or later. When I see an out of place M's micro composite VPOC. According to my IRT, the current micro composite VPOC is here at 46, 26, 75. This is my micro composite. I see no reason to change that. It's just simply drawing a volume profile around overlapping price. Pretty easy. Some people try to make such minutia science. Just ridiculous. I don't know whether the sound of me drinking this water is blurring across on the mic or not. I hope not. There we go. IB is set. So, looks like the NQ's fallen off substantially. Now, if we get a pullback on we don't get a typical retail bounce off mid and VWAP, we could likely mosey down to the IB low. We push the IB high on the IB30 stat. It's hard to say what you could call the context here. I guess if you were real technical about it, it's an uptrend. It's higher lows and higher highs. So, yeah, higher lows, and higher highs. But who knows? This was just a ripper here. So I think I will. Does it look to me like this left monitor has got the blue filter on? I better fix that. Probably because of shutting it off and on. And I had plugged the 4K monitor into that side so I could compare the 4K to my usual 1080p. I've got 4 monitors on this ESA rack, but I just wanted to have 2 where I could have it standing on the desk on its own stand. But it was pretty much at the same elevation in alignment with the right monitor. This one here. Okay, I'm going to stop the stream at this point. It's the 11th of December 23. This has been about an hour and change, hour and 5 minutes to be exact. On the new contract, ESH4, it's the March contract. So if you're trading this mess, good luck to you. If you're not,